Oh my god, all sorts of things. Even when so they asked me to do English like business sports, right? I said there's a difference between business and entrepreneurship. No, it's the same.
Then why do you have those two words?
It was
The similarities, yes.
Ustaz Belia akan buka apa tu?
The you thought itu lah.
No, Ustaz Belia, I mean my boss lah.
So yeah.
What the when you sell people sell I don't know.
Cute job.
Cute.
So yeah.
Yeah, my boss like I think we need to convert the studio into cute shop. And it was like cute shop. Yeah, it's good for entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a training. Who the hell was the one surveying by itself? You know they did it di Butong? Butong di Balai Kemasyarakatan?
Ya
You
Allah.
know there's a old people.
Mana orang tahu sana tu?
Tempat orang pada tu kan?
Untuk
Warga emas punya tu. There's a cube shop there, you know. There's a cube
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, long you know, we were visiting there. Guess who's the teaser that time? Tourism lah, siapa lagi? Dia kena kick lah.
Tourism.
Tourism lah. Tourism lah, dulu lah, dia kan more.
Lost track sudah pun.
You see the blue screen to name it.
Dulu di Water Stone lah. Skate it. We were the tourism. It was his name after him.
Is it the second one then?
Yeah. Kan kami, it was supposed to be the training session. Sekali we were all here in friendship is jual ni, we were selling this, this is to do this community. Sekali was like, kenapa dia buat kerja? How could you move?
What the hell? So you know what is that?
You know what is that? Tutup is a closed community. Because I worked there for 6 months. Actually it's not doing because there masih ada muncak-muncak. And this is all people. If you don't just get the facility there, they cool. This one, you know the queue, it's five people. Because nobody goes there. Goes to this is here. We're not in the Western Pakistan. The food was just
Madang in near the mosque. Oh, the white one.
Worthy. No worthy.
So how's the rental of
One day,
it's like a bit high.
some size up. It's your size.
Okay,
You know,
5 a month.
you know, like, we didn't have a meeting
So on
for
the
table
ground
floor.
floor.
Or both. You want a meeting in Syria? You were there. Ask the GP.
So on lock.
Okay. 2 o'clock I'm meeting. Tuan, bukan kerja tu tuan. Sekali during the investigation. Because I was like, we hotel.
Same package. Only
He helps a lot. He's very grateful.
because of his
Adalah
is good.
ada behind the rock.
The udang kan balik batu dia, the udang fierce, very fierce.
Sekarang tak ngobrol tu dah.
Salat like
This one package so easy.
But he helps a lot of meetings. When it's entrepreneurs, can you say? Yeah, okay. They will follow me.
Until 1:45.
Because that's the thing we like him. Other than that,
Only focusing on the photography for the wedding, but it's not any event.
Kan the certificate.
Tapi terus cara ni terus you can't give the full answer.
What's the possible?
You shared to me all of these things, and I can share to the students. Because that is always my advice for them. If you attend,
Project management is it?
just complete it. Because once you complete, you can because you cannot learn halfway, middle way.
It was a meet and greet, basically getting the
So you are staying here. Awesome.
No, no, search for.
She's your
first session
a play.
was all games.
Oh, yeah. Ah,
Like then I realized there's a lot of things that we do. You can see why.
There's no accounting. Business management. So I think I finished them 3 or 4 courses already.
In fact, he wanted
And also I'm a member of local programs, the one in the tourism line.
this thing.
We'll start at 1:45 lang ya.
Okay. Yeah? Okay. Can you?
Lalu may orang yung wala interest.
we're not in.
One of our experiences.
Analysis and
Showing
improvement.
these numbers along the way middle or at the end of the program. Only future. Yeah, this one is beneficial. It's a beneficial. And also one of the beneficials of this is
That's why I
handle what is the life. This is always our what I'm going to do, I need to train it in people. I need to handle it. So let me say, continue. Actually, this is the problem. Especially the new
The first
they're
time
not
we
focusing
applied
on
for
trying to
They're
focusing to end
Because you also
because
respect
we are our the sales down, company closed, and they want to work together to make it longer.
almost 100%.
Especially
Open areas.
who's going to take this
During
So do you
this
part
day,
of this or just no, I mean you are part of the company or
because we want to do you know why our listener was not in
at least your focus is there. You have the
because the budget for this
you are
was already for houses.
yeah.
rental.
direction.
So
Just
it was no
which salary.
So the Brunei punya company that got the contract collaborate with Kuching Village. For the lighting itself, it's not $500,000. That's why we have it in the morning.
Down the thing
$1
is
million.
how you
Just for this pictures, batteries,
looking to the
and then remember the drone, right?
He doesn't even.
The drone show was supposed to be on the national day.
So
That's why
he's
yesterday.
just going to do something for
Because they already paid for
or
it.
saying
Of course, they have to
no one knows.
show it, right?
That's why you have the social media.
But here,
Awareness, and then the explain. So that is a very
because of what issues. It's, I think, it's not everything.
experience. Find something.
Sorry, that.
Which one? ICC?
The computer. We can do that.
At least because of joining it. Once you introduce it, how many of them is interested to come back together?
Okay, we contract you for this one. And then, because we can pay this much, we prolong your contract. Then 1 million,
How does your
that's like the budget for
affect your
tickets
family
was
life
1 million.
and
Okay, good afternoon everyone. We'll start our afternoon session now.
yeah.
So I'll pass the floor to
Yes.
Okay.
Deal. Alright. Afternoon session with sudah semangat panas dan berjek. Okay. Assalamualaikum. Welcome back. How are you this afternoon? All re-energized? Yeah. Okay. We've gone through what a business operations is, and then we're going to drill down further to analyzing and improving business processes. The same sort of independent toggle. The toggle. Okay.
Right now it's using my laptop putih di atas saja.
Same. Okay. Yep. So the same format. We'll spend about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get the foundation sorted out and done, and everybody understands what it is. Then we have structured questions like before to lead you into the exercise that what we mentioned this morning. Okay. And again, open for questions and sharing of experiences and so on. So, before we start analyzing and improving our business process, let's get to understand what a business process is. Yeah? And it'll give you some examples and the types of business processes. Okay? And we'll have a look at a term called business process analysis, BPA, and business process improvement. And then I think the exercise we'll do later on will also touch upon doing a business process analysis, albeit on a simple scale. Any questions? All right. So, what is a business process? Anyone? So we know what business operations is. Do we remember? Dave? You're smiling like I don't know. Ask me, don't ask me. What is a business process? You know that smile? But what is it? Business operations. What is business operations? What is it? The daily activities, yeah?
Or day-to-day.
And business operations could be marketing operations, production operations. And a business process is actually those little bits of work that we need to do, the steps to complete a specific goal. Yeah? I think giving you examples later will make it further better. And then what is important here is that business processes are done or performed by people and or equipment. Right? And how do we represent a business process? It's usually represented in the form of flowchart, or workflow of logical steps. This is the graphical form. This is what, can anybody recognize what type of flowchart this is?
TPOR.
Huh?
TPO.
TPO.
Juga uses this one.
Yeah. Ada pulang tu, but the thing is there is no customer. What type of workflow is this? Huh? Payroll is, this is a business process of workflow for payroll, but the type they use is what we call a swim lane. It has lanes. And each lane has a swimmer, which are what we term as the responsible party. The human resources are responsible for these tasks. The employee is responsible for this task. Manager who approves the salary. This is the salary or payroll process. And payroll department or personnel are responsible for that. And the receiving end or the vendor side or the supply side. So this is a flowchart that represents the business process of payroll, and they are using graphically for the swim lane. This is just like a swimming lane, and Bob is very fun to swim. And you could imagine Bobby standing there, hey, swim, long stroke. Alright, we've got a video next, and Bobby's queued up to set up the speaker.
I'm just gonna play it's connecting.
A non-profit organisation or an enterprise produces something or services to somebody.
Apa nama
In
the
order to develop a product or perform a service, a set of activities needs to be done by employees or machines. The activities includes manufacturing, quality assurance.
So what are the other business processes that you can think of?
These activities.
What else? QA, quality assurance, shipping, and payroll, hiring, recruitment.
Legal services, marketing.
So what's it? That delivery is a business process. Yeah. Okay. Boleh, Bob.
Yeah, this is just gonna maximize the volume. But more transfer. Yeah, terus. Jadi mau? Bilang kan?
Betul. Ya, ada setting timer.
Ya, tadi mau.
Oh.
It's connected, check. Dan the volume punya setting check dan okay.
Every organization, whether a governmental body, a non-profit organization, or an enterprise, produces something or services to somebody. In order to develop a product or perform a service, a set of activities needs to be done by employees or machines. The activities includes manufacturing, quality assurance, packaging, shipping and purchasing. In addition to these activities, somebody needs to coordinate and support them, which means that an organization needs specific services in order to operate effectively. For example, management, information services, legal services, marketing, etc. A set of activities that are performed in coordination in an organizational and technical environment and jointly aims to achieve a business goal is known under the term business process. Each business process is performed by a single organization, and it may interact with business processes performed by other organizations, for example, suppliers, headquarters, and international divisions. In order to perform a business process, the first logical step is process identification. Once an organization has identified its processes, it can observe and analyze them with process analysis. Through process analysis, an organization can find weaknesses, inefficiencies, and limitations in its business processes. The next logical step is to apply the identified changes to the processes, and usually results in improved processes, and in turn an organization performs more effectively and efficiently.
Okay. So business process analysis is essentially to analyze your business processes and see if there are any gaps, yeah, that can be improved. And from there, you can develop action items, yeah, to actually do business process improvement. If you don't have a business process, it's all in here, it will not work. You cannot pinpoint what you need to improve. So examples of business processes, we got to simulate this now. This is example of a employee hiring process. It uses the simple flow chart. Yeah, the hiring process starts. Okay. Right. The hiring process starts here. Yeah, and you can see here in this process alone, there probably are some areas that can be improved. And we just need to analyze. Analyzing means not just looking into this flow chart, but looking into records, interviewing employees, yeah, on how things are done, and getting feedback as well.
Is it long?
Yeah.
Habis detik ke?
Habis.
Yeah.
Another example of business process is the sales process. Again, using this swim lane representation, where the customer's responsibility in this case is to actually go into the website, go to the contact us page, and then the website form, or the person responsible to reviewing the form. Yeah. Oh no, sorry. It's still, yeah. This is still the customer's job, isn't it? Yeah. In the website form. And the sales department actually does all that. So I personally like this swim lane process because it clearly identifies who are responsible for what. Yeah? Similarly, your process could look like this. Yes, it would. Yeah? As long as you understand what it is. My preference, if you're going to use this, put numbers to actually identify which process comes. Which step comes before the other? Or it could look like this, with a full description of how each step works. Like here, sales, you need to do prospecting first and what other things that you need to do. You could actually combine this in a document where you would have the flow chart and each step would be explained using narrative like that. So business processes, yeah, could be in the form of graphical workflows or flow charts or workflows like similar to procedures like this. In fact, I think this is most akin to a procedure. So that's a business process, steps taken to perform work to achieve goals. The types of business process, there's a lot. Okay? And these are just some of them. Hiring and firing, or hiring recruitment process is under business operations. This is under HR. Yeah. Employee onboarding process is under HR. What about sales process? Sales and marketing. Procurement. It's under finance. It could be under supply chain. Accounting, finance. Product development process, production, yeah, and then supply management, supply chain management process, and so on, and many more. So it depends on the business and the business operations that you're doing. So what is analysis? So we want to analyze and improve our business processes. But what is analysis anyway? You can Google it. What's analysis? Pengen kamu?
Let me ask you.
Cepat. Let's see if the answer is correct. Analysis means a detailed examination of a structure of something. Yeah, you analyze your business process. You actually go and sort of rip it apart and identify what each element represents, see if there's any improvement that has to be made, anything that is missing. So, yeah, any gaps. When I do my safety management assessment on a company, on a firm, organization, I do something similar like an analysis. It's called gaps analysis. I identify what they're not complying against, because as I say, you need to comply to the safety law. So what is improvement? After you've done your analysis, you know what the gaps are, you know what the shortfalls are, then you can say, hey, that particular part of the process needs an improvement. Okay? It's basically making things better than before. So like here, you may want to make parts of your business better. You want to streamline. You want to do this and that, like what we discussed with Masala in terms of the delivery process. What are the gaps in that process that we've done a sort of simple analysis, yeah? And then we've said, recommended some improvement. We haven't come to an action item yet. Because that's an improvement area. What will be the action item of that improvement is probably she needs to write down the procedure. Okay? So in terms of businesses, what is analysis? To evaluate the efficiency, effectiveness of your business workflow or business process. And what about improvement? To make your businesses better. Yeah, analyzing your business process, that one, and deriving solutions and actions so that your business process becomes much more efficient and effective. Yeah, so what comes out for implementing improvements are solutions and actions. Okay? Analyze, improve, action. Now, there's a term in the business schools that we call as business process analysis, or in short BPA. And BPA is essentially business analysis, business process analysis. It's to evaluate so that we improve the business process. The BPA aims to improve the processes, efficiency, and performance. Okay? So just in case you come across this term, it's BPA, and it's the same as what we mentioned about analysis. And how do people conduct business process analysis? A lot of flowcharts or a lot of methods are used. This is one of them. This is the BPM life cycle. Yeah, and you could see there, identify your process first. Remember the video? When I said you need to know your process. Then you do analysis by looking at the weaknesses or the shortfalls. You may want to redesign that by having actions and so on. Yeah? Now, this is another business process analysis method. Okay? It's pretty long-winded, up to measuring it. So you need to implement and then you need to monitor. You collect feedback and then you further do the improvements. What I like to use is a 6-step process. You need to set up the scope and the objectives of your analysis. What are you analyzing? You're not going to analyze the whole company, because that could take weeks on end. You need to set the scope. I'm going to analyze out, because this is where I want to optimize. I feel that it needs optimization, maybe sales process. Okay? So that's the scope. The objectives is to identify shortfalls and then improve our sales by a certain percentage. Yeah? We'll talk about SMART goals later on. In order to be effective in our analysis, we need to get information. Yeah? The flowchart isn't enough. So you need to interview people, you need to get records, you need to do check. It's like an audit plan. And map the current process is the process like this. Yeah? You literally draw it, make it graphical. That's what mapping is. And then analyze. Once you have all the information and you know how the process looks like, you start analyzing the process. And analyzing here to examine, as I said, it's similar to an audit. Examine that part of the process. What are the shortfalls? What are the gaps? What's missing? And then you have your improvement plans. You implement, monitor, and then further evaluate and the cycle goes like that. Okay. This is your Kaizen. Continuous improvement. Right? Any questions on that process? Yes, it's completely straightforward. We'll have to do some. Yes.
Just wondering, everybody's quiet after back from lunch. Are we okay?
Kalau before 9 PM aku bagi exercise.
Yeah. So this is just really.
Just checking.
Kami makan apa tadi? Chicken wings. Yeah. Chicken wings. Chicken wings. Yeah. Coffee up. I didn't know coffee like after this. Then there's the BPI or business process improvement. Again, it's a proactive approach. And it's continuous, so it's continuous improvement we want to achieve. Ongoing process to help identify areas of improvement on existing business processes. So what we want from this is actually to have our businesses effectively, efficiently run. It will enhance services, enhance customer satisfaction, reduce costs, and increase revenue. So the goal of BPI and BPA are similar, and the goal of the whole thing is actually to make sure our businesses run effectively. So you can see here the business process examples of improvement areas are: it improves your inventory management. This is SLA. Anybody knows what SLA is? It's not Mercedes-Benz SLA model. Service level agreements. Streamlining confusing workflows. You may find workflows overlap each other. Yeah, and maybe one or two people are doing duplication work. Get rid of that. They could do something else better. I like this, enhancing safety protocols makes the work safer. No potential injuries. Yeah, and you actually reduce waste, preventing errors in shipping, for instance, like your errors in the delivery of products, yeah, or even shipping errors in terms of you ordered this, but something else came. Welcome, Assalamualaikum. I recognize you. Take a seat. Ada kosong sana. Sini kosong. Dapat. You missed the exciting part. Alright. Planning for process failures. It's not planning for failures. What that means is that you want to be able to forecast if you can run into some failures or some obstacles. Yeah? So you can plan to overcome. Right. That's the basic introduction of what business process is. So business process is, what is it again? Yeah? Steps. Yeah. So business process is part of the bigger picture of business operations. Yeah? Business operations has a lot of business processes. Right. Do you have any written processes? No? Thank you for being honest. You have business process. You do that for entering. Apa lagi? Yeah. Because that's a requirement from the client, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So again, it's normally your case is driven by the client. They want a business process, procedures. You have it. Good. Anybody else who has business process? You have.
So business we have an SOP for sharpening.
Yeah.
And we have an SOP for sleeping.
Okay, good.
So,
Who-
it's a
you
event-
don't have-
it's a event proposal, like some kind of business proposal.
Yes, even writing proposal, probably you'll need a business
Okay,
process.
so I do.
You do.
Yeah.
You have a guideline on how to
How to
write
organize
proposals.
events and everything.
How to organize events. Yeah, that is a business process, isn't it? Yeah. Anybody else? That, yeah. Okay, you have a
Yeah.
business process?
Yes. We have a guideline on how to for employees to start the day and clock out for the day too.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, always a guideline is a process. It's its own right, and that is a business process. Okay. You do. You do. Okay. Good. Good. All right. Yeah, that was the big question. I think. Do you have any other questions about business processes? It's quite straightforward, isn't it? It's, so we'll focus more on yes, Mr. Control. Yes.
I think I just want to relate back to like your experience manning champion guys. I bet that has a lot of like SOPs and stuff.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
How
yes.
do you ensure that everyone sticks and follow these SOPs
All right.
that you have in place?
First things first, we have to tell them and explain to them, train them what the SOPs are for their job, right? Before releasing them to the field.
Yeah.
Secondly is that we have check and balance in the operations where the supervisors verifies, usually adalah informal verification,
Yeah.
and then we have a formal verification in terms of internal audits to verify that. And if anything does happen, if there's a shortfall, an accident or incident, is that we quickly check on that and go into a lot of details to make sure that the incident doesn't happen again. And from experience, usually incidents are from lack of management processes or lack of business process or shortfalls in business process. For instance, like this, how do I, once I've got this going, my Sarah, your process of delivery, once I get this going, all the signatures are there, it's all documented, and people, the delivery runners actually sign on the paper, they understand the procedure. How do I make sure that the procedure is followed? Anybody? How do I make sure this process is followed?
TNC,
Terms and conditions, yeah.
training,
Training, yes. Who do we train?
all of them.
Yeah. So the training of the delivery man may be much more rigorous and much more detailed. The training of the customer, how can you train the customer?
Let them read that paper.
Yes, you may want to have a graphic, infographic, manual or brochure. Yeah. How do I train the supplier or our staff? Proper training. Yeah, proper training like this classroom training. And that's the training bit. Once this is all hunky-dory is done, then we make sure that nothing happens, no damaged products. What do we do? There was a cycle there towards the end.
So just to answer, to add
Yeah.
on Ian and Paco's questions, in oil and gas, it's not necessarily on the operations you do the SOPs. It
Yeah.
runs across the organization. For example, in HR, we also have SOP for recruitment, for planning, for talent, everything. So everything needs to be followed. So whether you are new in the organization, you're halfway there, you still follow the SOPs. Now, if something wrong, remember we talked about streamlining the process. If something is not right, you review the process and redo and edify, learning from incidents.
Yes.
Learning from incidents is where you actually can make improvement.
Yes.
So if there is no incident happening, nothing is wrong, does not mean that you don't review it. So once you review it, streamline it, and it makes better every time. So in oil and gas, this is a practice. What we used to say, you eat, drink, sleep with SOPs.
Yeah. Literally. One of the things that we learned throughout the course of my time there was that during the interview sessions of selection of candidates for recruitment, the old style was that it's only HR. HR only does interviews. But as time went by, We are the one who are actually hiring them in operations, in the front line. HR is the facilitator. Literally, HR do not know what we want. We know better. HR facilitates that on our behalf, and we tell them exactly, this is the guy that we need. He has to be aged between 18 to 51, maybe. If he's older, no, we don't accept. No, maybe, things like that. So we actually dictate the requirement. And then hence, the interview became like a collaboration between HR, operations, technical people, depending on what the interview is.
So when we facilitation, basically means that you advise coaching to the line. The lines will say what kind of people they want to recruit. So for example, they determine us the characteristic of the people they want. So our challenge will be in terms of talent.
Yeah.
Like where would you put this person for the next 5 years, and what's your plan in terms of their development for the next 3 to 5 years, something like that. So it becomes a collaboration.
Yeah, it all relates back to the PP.
Correct.
Yeah.
And think about this. How does recruitment actually influences the safety of the platform? How does it? You think recruitment, that recruitment process, how do you think that influences safety? You talk about safety at site, right?
Yeah.
People have to wear helmets, have to follow procedures, wear safety shoes, face construction and so on. But how does the recruitment process actually influences such that the safety is enhanced? Because when I do safety management, it's not the site only. It's the overall from the beginning up to the end. We actually say to HR, for this particular job, if it's a supervisory level, that guy needs to have some sort of safety training. Yeah, so they check whether the training is relevant to what we need. Okay? If he hasn't, then that person or applicant would be sidelined, not shortlisted. And that's where a lot of people say safety is only for frontline. No, safety is with them too. Because and safety, when you design like this building, there's a lot of trip hazards. There's a design, you could have designed out those trip hazards. You could have designed out the need for having cables and wires taped up. And that's where, so again, when you start with scope, you collect information there, this is the important bit as well. You need to monitor. How do you monitor? How do you measure? You need to determine, set up your key performance and all your indicators of performance. Alright, over to Bobby.
Is a SOP some kind of contract?
Yeah.
It's a contract.
It's similar to a contract, yeah.
It's a contract.
Indirectly.
Yes.
Because you need to have an agreement with the person, because they need to understand and follow the SOPs. So indirectly is nothing. Over to you.
It's like this training is a contract.
Terus kung tanong sa way natin terus kung
Yeah.
tago ba?
Now, making people aware.
Okay.
But the SOP training. SOP training.
Oh.
Okay.
That's
So
easy.
interestingly, the activity that we were supposed to do earlier before lunch, there's a connection with the activity in the afternoon. So basically, we're supposed to have this finished product already, and then after that, then we analyze it. So it's first identify what you're doing now, the processes, the people, the technology, and then after that you do the analysis and then so then I give time for each of this to be discussed. But I want to be according to your rules. So just checking with the numbers because I know the numbers have changed. So I know there's 4 different industries. So there's the retail, the buy and sell, and then there's the production and manufacturing, making stuff, production and manufacturing, and then there's the food and beverages, and finally the event management. Okay, masuk decoration apa lah? So I'm just curious how many people are in this industry. Just checking if there's enough people, and if not, we reduce it to less groups. So checking with the retail, whose business is just buying and selling, basically buying and selling or importing and selling. So there's two. Oh, I need to put in another group. Maybe we'll see. Production and manufacturing, making stuff, 1, 2, or possibly. 1, 2, 3,
Can
4, 5.
double the-
Okay, 5. Okay. Ada overlap lah. Food and beverages. Food and beverages. 1 and 2. 2. It's like 2 groups every time. And then events management, decoration apa? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. Okay.
But there are overlaps also.
Yeah, there's overlap. So, I think there's only like very few overlaps on the production almost there. Production manufacturing. So,
events as well.
yeah. So if you okay, I think I'm gonna combine the F&B and the retail. Okay, is that fine? The retail and F&B. Saya ni cukup kurang. Okay, because some basics ada pelang. Depends on your F&B. Some F&B is simple, is actually buying and selling. But F&B like restaurant, then you actually buy processing, cooking and then selling. So I'll just combine the two. So okay, so this 3 tables. So I want to reorganize the group. So there's only 3 groups. So I'll just rename retail and F&B lah. Retail and F&B. So that's group 1, and then group 2 is the production and manufacturing, and group 3 is the events. And I think simple here, 1, 2, 3. So reorganize yourself. 1, 2.
So the one you have overlap, you choose which group that you want to do. Let's say you retail and
Yeah.
event overlap, you choose
Yeah,
which
you
group that
industry.
you want to do.
So one over there.
You check everything on your table. Careful.
Kita punya energy.
That's why we're having the exercise now.
Good idea. This is the exercise that
Yes.
we start moving around.
We'll make one QR code to scan.
Events.
Number
3.
Dua orang saja sini.
Ini apa?
Production, manufacturing.
Production, manufacturing, this is some,
There's a lot.
supposed to be 5.
Yeah, there was 5. I think ada yang mana tadi tau? Yang mana? Ya, ada belum.
Production, there's supposed to be 5 people in now.
Yeah, some people overlap.
Yeah. It's okay. We have as long as we have 3.
Okay.
Yeah, at least 3. At least 3.
See, check.
So we didn't introduce ourselves first, so it's hard to
Itu awalnya. Okay, so just settling down dulu. And I'm gonna ask you to do a few things lah. So I'm just gonna streamline the activities. So I know ada masih ada tempat, but the first activity lah, since media baru kan. So your first activity is introduction. Sudah awal introduction.
So the rest of you guys, please listen the instruction.
Okay, so introduction to each other. So potential business collaborators. I think in most cases it's like 5 minutes lah. So 5 minutes for introduction. So basically 1 minute per person introduce. I'll start the timer sekarang. So that's the first thing. Second activity is the processes. So the first 5 minutes saja, just discussing the processes. You can choose which process that you want to streamline. It could be the overall process or a specific process in your business. So process, so this will take a bit of time. So I'll just give for now 10 minutes lah. Because sometimes ada can disagree. So 10 minutes just for the processes. But once the processes is set, then you have the people. So identifying the people that you have right now lah, or maybe the future pun boleh. Maybe it could be one person tapi lain jawatan. I know some of you are like that lah, one man show but different hats. I'm the same thing. When I did my food store business, I'm also the manager but I'm also the cook.
Many talents.
Also the cashier.
Oh yeah, also cashier. But at least ada positionnya lah. That's supposed to grow. So potentially it's also a potential reason for you to hire new people. So at least you have that listed. So who are the people that you need? In general, I usually find this one not so difficult because people already have an idea. So this one just 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. just to identify people required for the processes. And then last, okay, then we do the technology. Oh, I need to change the slide. Those supposed to be the final slide. The technology. Yeah, technology. So not high-end modern technology apa AI apa. And say that if you want, yes you can. But 30 minutes, ChatGPT for marketing, copywriting. I know because I also do that right now.
3 pages dia ChatGPT.
Tapi dah 100% lah. But sometimes yang orang share tu macam, nah I can use this in Brunei. So I have to change. So never take 100%. So if you use AI lah, but it be low and low tech juga, like tables and chairs. You don't have to high tech. Again macam kitchen apa? You get apa? My slide berubah kan? Oh. That's later. Okay, so that's later. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So, this is now the technology. I think 5 minutes should be fine. So overall, it should take 5, 10, 25 minutes lah. And I will put the timer sana, and then I'll remind you to go to the next step. Kalau belum siap, siapkan as soon as you can, and we'll go on lah. Any questions? Okay, yes.
Specific business seorang ataupun
One general business.
One general business.
Yeah, that's why I put you into groups kan. So kalau yang retail, maybe the process of buying, storing, selling, apakah. If you production, buying the stuff, doing the stuff, processing, making, whatever. So it could be the overall business process or a specific business process. As you have something that you are comfortable discussing lah. Macam ni rahsia.
Choose one in your group.
Any other questions? Nada? Okay. So just fair warning. So after this, just to save time, we're gonna do boleh lah. Let's have a presentation. So you're presenting in front here, and then you'll get feedback lah on how to improve your business. Okay. So that's the whole point. That's it. And then we'll go into the analysis part after your presentation. Okay. No questions?
Don't worry about the improvement.
Yeah. Improvement sekarang analysis dulu. Yeah. Okay. So no questions. Then I start my 25-minute time.
Just checking for the answer before we start. Any more questions? Everything clear?
Okay, first step, introduction. Introduce yourself to each other. Basically 1 minute for one person.
Introduce yourself to each other.
15 seconds. Ini 1 minute first.
already give my name card kan? Okay, my name is Bill Kamakran. I have a company at the moment is event management. We have our own concert. Until 2005 and now we're partnering with different places. So our networking now is in Japan, Maldives, Malaysia, and we're doing another company which is CIP services at the airport. Marketing company Europe, people go to other country to enjoy concerts. So it's like with the services of packaging, the food, hotels, tickets, and travels, and tours, apa semua untuk provided that we get the ticket from the organizer because they'll be very high.
Because we cannot do that, that's why we ask us to
4 minutes left for introduction. 4 minutes left for introduction.
we cannot have the 6 minutes.
So basically that's our business now. Our concert, because we create our own event.
Or kalau mau
Export that
this is
to
my business lah. This is my business.
So for now, Jakarta actually mirror
There's some common process.
Korea,
Yeah. So that's why.
and Philippines also. Basically, the team.
So may I ask which one?
Minutes left for intro.
We haven't signed it. Bingo, someone signed up. No, I don't like early.
I'm also finance. So yours is also finance. So if you want to shorten the
Come on,
process,
come on.
because it's already here. But we are not learning much now, but all the process are here. Yeah, just copy and paste it.
What is your manager?
Select the processes, order the process. Because we are master ordering for the supplier, right?
Yeah, we all.
2 minutes and a half.
Yeah, we just select the process, order the businesses.
Also, we just do the but that one is supplier. So we just have to how do you order from the supplier and then you are then just buy the normal. So actually it's the same. Just tell us how long we are given.
2 minutes left for introduction.
Yes, after that there's a presentation.
Ini sudah introduction, kan buat idea sudah. Biasanya lah kalau masterclass.
So potential collaboration like that.
One minute and a half for introduction. 1 minute and a half.
Let's say vending machine. We are ordering for
Then we
the
use the vending machine. Then we see how it is. Ah, yeah. Going through the process. Do you have to use involved age? Or we can use that. No, that's a development process. Do you need to give a company name or something?
Thirty seconds left for introduction. Yeah, so 20 seconds left. Kalau belum introduce.
Sabar mo. Sekejap. Bikin cepat dia ready. Oh,
So, identifying supplier.
you're the overnight.
0. Okay. Next up for introduction. Kalau belum sampai, you can sampai lah.
So 1 second, can I have your attention? 1 second. Everybody, can I have your attention? 1 second. Everybody raise your hand like this. Raise your hand like this. My son, just raise your hand. Raise your hand, my son. For what
Raise,
purpose? Just raise your hand, my son.
Raise your hand high.
Just do it.
Raise your hand.
Yeah, she's already raising. It's just not high.
Just raise your hand. Just raise your hand, trust me. Oh, I cannot.
Shoulder issue.
So, you put your fingers like this. Okay. And point to the person who you want to present for your team. Wait!
Congratulations for the appointed one. Next time. What's the next time?
Processes.
Processes. 10 minutes for processes. Processes. 10 minutes. Discuss and
What are we going through the process?
We put the vending machine.
Yeah, on what?
Something like that.
No. What the second is processes, right? What are we talking
Yes.
about?
We choose the process.
We have the event management.
Even management. Wow.
The process for us existing process, we want to then
Expo. Yeah, it's better than doing a concert. Some concerts, we have a lot of.
different
Banyak.
the people that acknowledge
Yeah, because everyone is
item to our store.
Yeah. The first allow for me is project
We will
proposal.
distribute it to our organization.
Because you identify the venue, identify the location. Second is permit.
But the thing going up
Brunei,
the store,
right? So do you agree on the first one? Event management. Project proposal? Yeah. So project proposal?
So one of the things is we have the depending on this for the type of the vending machine as well. So second is the research that's
So I'm not sure if mine is always project proposals.
So we write down your process and we have all.
Yeah. So with the project proposals, we can apply diploma anything. The paper, just the paper. Right? Then the second process is application. Dalam project proposal sudah. So inside the project proposal, the venue, the time, and so on, kan? So under the project proposal, we need to have the agreement of the venue lah. Dapat surat, we agree on the timing,
for example, we just
performance, whatever EC inside.
during celebration,
And then baru we go to Muhammad, right? So apply. Venue? The venue, yeah. The venue macam ICC, right? ICC mesti keluarkan surat. Even
we have a contract with the example, yeah, awarded the event. Yeah. We assume this is already awarded. Then we order the so the
also
location
Moha is the one who
set session.
sabar ah. Sabar Moha ya. Yeah, so yeah, project proposal.
The customer client requirement. They want to
After you do the project proposal, which is the semua lah, right? Everything, and then after that everything selesai, then you go to one permit. Or permit application, and then they will reply maybe in one
then invite the supplier who can
permit. Then after that is yeah, permit done, everything. After permit, I think I know yeah, macam ini sudah approve, right? Then this one is marketing and everything. Yeah, then you get to do marketing.
term of condition of the supplier. For example, the
And this is already after yeah, proposal. Yeah, this is venue. Client vendors.
because I the one
Let's first. I think they also was the
So this is
and then when we are able to put this one, the agreement condition and the pricing, we can set the pricing.
and then starts with the basis.
Pricing for the space
Yeah, I think we did the first one. So after then for implementation.
one more, so implementation, and then after that it's like after the event.
On the right track.
Survey and
Yes. I think
This will go around.
This is the bigger one.
Yeah, you should. This is your first permit, this is second permit. Kalau dapat bulan 8. Kalau dapat almost Friday. And then after this, implementation of censorship. After censorship,
So we are
the
doing
performance of the events.
We are taking the blue color first. White and blue.
The process.
So then you see the heart.
Then we still have the breakout here. Breakout.
Post event, kami semua tidur dalam we sleep first.
I sleep in 3, so it should be enough.
We have the right again. Most right. Ada masalah. Let's do it.
After that, post event, sleep. Yeah.
Tell me how
We usually our proposal 1 year prior. Setahun sudah macam for next year, we already know. Pasal the concept is quite booking the venue, so
you need extra
jam sen percussion festival.
paper.
Jam sen percussion festival since 2005.
They might be
Event managers. Bingo team. Bingo. Event managers. Okay, well, so the most important step is this one. This one is this takes a lot of time. Like this process will go for me is 1 year. Tapi kalau dapat 6 months. Because everything here will be approved sini. If you like something sini, say date and time. Because you need to check the we call it black dates, right? And then clients vendors. Because Mohan will ask who are the clients. They want the list already. Then venue. If you don't have the letter from the venue, reject. So that's why. Then this one, we see this one too. Then you can do that. You cannot do pre-marketing even. Online. You have this, you can do this. Kalau tu, then I mean easy. Then this one. If you don't pass this, even if you they will come. Censorship, the censorship. If there's no performance, they will close it. Then the proposal has to say that non-performance.
No pressure.
For everything. Wedding event, they want to see the baju, models. Yeah, models. No, models. Because they baju prominent. You have all the poster, right? Ada kan? Kanal, whatever. They want to see
What's the process for? That's the people.
Wedding is.
We are still in the process.
If you have finished your process, start moving to the people.
See-through, you know, ladies.
Finish the process, start moving to the next step people.
People.
So you have to move.
10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3,
Project manager.
Now we move move to the people, 5 minutes.
Okay, habis masa.
Because this one is awarded of
Can we borrow?
Yes, yes.
People. Okay, so 5 minutes for people. Identify the people, the roles.
Identify the roles of the people, 5 minutes, guys. The roles of the people.
This one here.
you can brag.
Also the website, right? Moha website.
No, this one I can handle.
Assistant project manager. Yeah, admin like admin officer.
Jadi lu in a newspaper lah, sama tu.
Dah ni
Buat.
Even kalau
Boleh mana newspaper
Ini
lah.
marketing officer.
Di mana newspaper preferably different color. If on the same paper, different color.
And then any implementation session, everybody must be here. So, organizing committee.
People. Okay, who are the people involved?
So kalau orang kawin, mesti jual semua datang tu. Adalah yang kerja waktu itu lah. Post event, then ini sama. Ya. Sama. And then I need everybody just I need one project managers here. On the way, right? On the way, only the project manager. Because kalau sponsorship, masa industry pasal approval for sponsorship is mahal juga. Isn't here is also the sponsorship approval. Here, crazy man. Kamu orang pernah organize wedding event? What we should do here?
Any operations in
minutes. Siapa yang buat nak?
Tapi now you know
Who actually finds it?
sudah. Tada. Yeah.
But if you're done with the role, you can skip to the next one. But I'll start with the time nila ha. 2 minutes and a half.
Tapi
For the role, first you can move on to next. Ya tak?
social media, editing. Yeah, social media. Sini. Social media, TikTok, Instagram.
Don't
What's
wear
that? Social
anything of
media.
channel from Sampan. One minute.
Social media.
One minute.
Website, we can website, media. VT, shooting video. Atau vlognya.
Use different color.
LED kalau dapat, kalau kaya LED.
If you're using the same color. Use a different color.
Ya.
For technology.
Okay lah.
1 minute and a half.
Kalau jumpa apa?
It's because
Why? Serious? Dia punya. Pasal I used to follow. And then if you think about it, we're the only surviving event management company in Brunei.
it's a technology.
Kami sama-sama di India. Ya. AF. Yeah. We started pasal tu sudah. We started 2005. So a lot of businesses sudah berjalan. Event management. And then ada yang divert. Macam di Hyatt now, di Hyatt is yang organize AF, right? That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Is that an abbreviation for special line?
So we just put it on.
specialized limited time.
But it's not nice travel.
Entertainment.
Yeah, you can put away, you can be executive. Because he's searching for the correct
Meaning
website website. So from there, then he can do
Video.
Once submission is over, it's called to the Thunderbolt application. Not technology.
That's me.
What's he doing?
No, that's not me. I'm like,
So we don't have to create.
Somebody used to know. What do you use?
Gmail random gallery.
But then
Oh
when
my
you do the
God. So
Yes.
that's not me. That's not cakap letak different.
Macam lagi pelakon.
You know, I was eating the KL. I was eating the KL. Sekali I put my DJI ni lah. Yes, ada aku review, right? Okay, when you review it, kenapa macam Tony Fernandez on the side? I look like Tony Fernandez. I answer the video. Like the plum, that guy from the steering, like Tony Fernandez from the yeah, from the side, see? When I eat that, sama dia sih. So what? We want when we do events, kan, we don't want to be event yang macam orang tu that people wanted to do every time. Macam pop-ups. Right? We don't do pop-ups. Kalau wedding, okay. Next year, we're thinking of organizing horror talk show. Horror talk show. So meaning like the orang yang experience the horror concert phenomenon will cerita like yeah, with props, with music, you know, things like that. Yeah. So under vendors and everything, that's what we thinking of doing. Kalau the wedding shoot tu,
Oh, season
baju
marketing.
pengantin, ada buka panah, itu awesome, right? When you do bamboo, right? I have the proposal to like.
Salah siap. You can space this over there.
Okay.
Wow.
Do presentation.
Kalau saya dapat yang pegang tu. Masa aja, masa orang jadi model.
Ataupun we present there and stick it there.
Yeah, we're using this.
Using that. So itu ada sanang itu. Apa? Sana tu. Okay. Itu sekarang lah. Jangan masuk ke kemudian.
Yeah, after we
Once they're done with the presentation,
No, it's here. So that's what we're thinking of doing. Horror talk show. Because di Singapore,
Okay, bye.
and then Malaysia, my partner, there's one YouTube punya, they're joining. Okay, no problem, we will join. So we have people who want to tell the stories. It'll be macam gloomy and everything. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we want to do now. So something unique. That's why we don't always organize. That's all. It's 1 year. Because after many meetings, you know.
Ready finalizing.
Present my idea lah. Then my guys will go like, okay lah. Then I'm the one. Everything is from one to here. It's me. Yeah, macam I know. That's why I say it's me. Yeah.
Can I have your attention for the chosen presenter? Be ready. We only have less than 1 minute for you to present. Okay? And who would like to go first?
Jadi Dave. Jadi Dave.
I'm not the sponsor.
So which person?
Be there first. Bobby first, second, third.
Pre-chosen lah.
Yeah, you are the chosen one. Okay, so korang sudah ready?
Yeah.
You got the idea?
Hi everyone, good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam.
But your presentation is 30 minutes.
I will talk about sponsorship collaboration. Okay, our proposal, our process is for event management. So we are following the Bmen punya context of event proposal lah, event management. So the first things that we need to do is to do a paperwork called a project proposal. Then the project proposal will include venue, clients, deadlines, sponsorship and agreements, and so on and so forth. For the venue itself, we will propose a venue. Let's say we go to ICC. Then ICC, we need to have, if they have the agreement verbally, then they will issue a letter of kebenaran memakai tempat. Yeah. So that one will be included in the project proposal. Also the clients and vendors, who are we going to invite to be vendors, to be our clients, sponsors, collaborators, whatever it is. And then after that, the sponsorship, and then the agreements, whatever we have. So everything must be inside that project proposal. Then we can go to the second step, which is applying for permit to MOHA, Home Affairs. So MOHA will go through everything, project proposal, the venue letter, the sponsorship deals, everything. And then if they're okay, then they will approve that and issue a letter saying that kami tidak ada halangan, for those things, and then syarat-syaratnya, alright? Then that will take around 2 to 3 weeks. Okay? The project proposal itself, it will take us dalam 3 to 6 months to 1 year lah of planning. And then after that, after we get the approval from MOHA, and then the application is online, right? After that, then we go to marketing and publicity. Because if without the permits from MOHA, now we cannot even do pre-marketing. You see the poster, you cannot go online and blah blah blah, because they will actually tarik balik the approval if you do that awal, right? So marketing and publicity, we have a marketing team doing that. We'll talk more about it later. And then usually what we do is social media, website, VT. VT is the video promotions. And then we go to radio stations and RTV and all the media people lah. After that is done, then implementation. Then comes the second hurdle that we need to go through, which is the censorship board. Yeah, censorship board will issue the second permit. Okay, this one is the most important after this one. So censorship board will issue the permit a day before the event, or 2 days before the event. If that one you cannot pass, KO. Everything KO. Money 没有钱 habis. Campaign habis. Right?
Concert di sana.
Yeah. This is event management lah, not specifically concert lah. And then after that censorship, we got that. Then we do the event, everything, wedding punya, whatever it is. And then we go to our next process, which is post event. Post event, we'll always do feedback, improvement plan, and feedback from our clients, feedback from our blah 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 lah, like macam customers, and then what do they think about the event, blah blah blah, which we do online and everything. Then after that, we go to sleep, and then the project manager will count money. Okay, alright. And then the team. What's the second person?
Yeah, people.
People. So people that we need is most of the time the project manager, one of the most important person lah, project manager. And then after done everything, admin people on the project, assistant project manager will apply online, and then everything will be passed. After that, we go to the marketing team, then the organizing committee will do for the implementation, and then post event also our organizing committee, and then sleep everybody except for the Project manager, because fly, enjoy doing outside. Okay? Not really KL. And what else? What was it again? Technology. Technology for event management is quite easy. We always have social media, LED TVs and everything like just a simple methods. And then if we have so much money, then we go influencer, ask them to do it other than us. And then that's about it, I think. Yeah. Thank you. Sponsor, event, sponsor. Yes.
So
You can all, when we do the Q&A with the feedback, whatever, you can ask your team to help you, or you
Yeah,
can say.
please. Then I go sleep.
commenting lang ba, is what you're missing, even simple
Yeah.
simple overlook is when you preparing the project proposal, are you using Microsoft Word ka, atau Google Slides ka?
Canva.
So even that simple you should include
AI. We use AI. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we use AI like Canva, and we have partnership with ChatGPT. Because Moha cannot read, so cantik. Jawi. Oh yeah, Jawi. Sorry. The poster also, this one is poster printing and everything. Jawi lettering. We go to library
Dewan
Bahasa to get the Jawi punya the correct one lah. Approve that one, then we can do the poster and everything.
There's a difference. Nanti komen saya, we use the word correct versus approve. Because I don't consider most of yang Dewan Bahasa Pustaka punya Jawi is
True pula, but
it's approved. The same.
what to do? That's the process lah. That's the process of event management. Yeah. Then the biggest hurdle is sponsor.
Getting sponsors. So ada so bila bercakap buatan notice ada something missing atau?
Oh yeah, and then the everything here right? Why? Because the sponsor pun we need approval from Moha. No, so that takes another 1 week, 2 weeks also. Then we get that card for 2 people. Then we can apply for sponsorship card.
Officially.
Yeah.
Biasanya ada pre-presentation to the potential sponsors. Conduct this master lah.
And then of course MIPR if we're involved with tourism and everything. And then kalau macam wedding, food business is good, brother. Right? Yeah. Things like that lah. Yeah. Q&A. Any questions?
So, in terms of your project proposal, this is just a question,
Yeah.
not a challenge or anything like where the budget comes in.
Budget comes. That's the
You see
budget doesn't come
you
from the project manager.
So in the end, you see, you sleep and count money. I don't know how you do that. When
No, because
where the budget comes in, whether it's a break even or not.
okay. For the project proposal, the money comes from the previous event that we did. So macam Tosin Mopek or we tanya si tu pun duit lah.
What I'm trying to say is that would you be inclusive the budget proposal in your project?
No, not yet. No. Pasal that doesn't concern Moha. Because it concerns post event, sorry. Yeah. Then Moha will ask for the masuk kata the budgeting will, after that the profit and loss report will masuk area post event. It's a bit different different documentation.
So again, that would reflect the number of people that you're going to have for your event.
True.
Because when you see that when you do project proposal, you only have a project manager and a project manager.
Yeah, project
So
manager.
you only need a project manager to do a proposal, so one person.
Yeah.
So throughout the event, how many people would you have? Because we're gonna relate to your break even of your proposal.
Yeah. For project event, macam like a 3-day event management, and then it also, if the venue is big like ICC, and then they have like 1 week, 5 days punya events, right? That requires a lot of team lah. For us, concert, Jurong Park itself, I only need 5 people
Okay.
in the OC, in the top one lah. Then the rest we ask, because the musicians will bring their own instruments, right? Then they will take care of it lah. So they need to sign the liability agreement, TNC. If they go mabok or fighting during the event, that's very important.
So you know when we do a proposal and we do good business, right? This is a business owner, is event management.
Yeah.
Where you cut your process to reduce your inefficiencies.
Yeah.
One, in terms of budget, because like people, you already mentioned something like for a certain project, it only as many people.
Yeah.
So for example, in this whole project proposal, where would you cut your efficiencies and reducing your costs?
Usually,
Because the idea is to make money, and so the more you spend on this,
Yeah.
the less will you got.
Yeah.
So the idea is you want to count money when
Yeah.
it's need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which part of that process? Remember the streamlining back.
Yeah.
Where would you be?
We of course it's per people lah. Tapi for the cost benefit of the cost of the, we will look like how much is the venue. Kalau the venue cost around $4,000, let's say amphitheater lah. Amphitheater cost $4,000.
Which process is that? Is that
Here.
project proposal?
Project proposal, yeah. And usually it's a separate document.
Yeah, not for the Moha document, but maybe
Not for the Moha document.
the internal business
Yes.
document.
So another process, I would have to do it. Where would you look at to cut inefficiencies? From your process, I'm looking at your process.
Yeah, okay. You mean how do we cut or?
How do you save budget?
Save budget.
Yeah.
Sponsorship. Kalau venue sponsorship usually like let's say we want to do ICC lah. ICC. Then sorry. Let's say Judo Park lah, Judo Park. Judo Park will always go like 50-50, 70-30, or we take everything, you go cafe, things like that lah. Usually we take everything, you go cafe food lah.
So reduce on rental. So
Yeah, reduce on rental, F&B, food,
food sponsors.
food. Kalau usually we take half. Let's say last time, okay, let's say catering lah. Let's say share lah, share sponsor. Then we make a deal with share lah. You sponsor us 50% or 70%, we buy you 30%. That's how we usually do.
So
And t-shirt,
that's answer the question in terms of reducing efficiency. Collaboration would be one.
collaboration, yeah.
And if you look at the marketing and publicity, there are a lot of medias that you use.
Yeah.
So probably you may not use all of it. And probably could be word of mouth that's not going to cost you. Now,
Yeah.
every step to the component in business operation does not necessarily need to cost you.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other ideas, components where you can actually save costs. Remember, the idea of business operation is that we need to generate
Income. Sleep. Income.
And
And then, in this process, the marketing process, usually we talk to macam now Crystal FM, it's Crystal Media, right? So we have a media hook namanya. Media hook is when we give them special permission to cover the event. Dulu we do it with Progressive. So Progressive have the rights to take picture, video, interview, whatever it is lah. They will release the video, and we can only release whatever they have 1 week after the event. That's the rules.
Collaboration.
Like t-shirts, sepatu, they have the names and everything. Things like that.
Okay, a big round of applause for you. Let me put it this. Just put it on the whiteboard. So for the next thing,
On the side.
the
magnet.
The magnet.
The magnet.
Nung orang main na to, pakai. So
round of applause for the
We
next
have- we're given the-
Okay, next one is manufacturing.
Project manager, what you say?
Okay, remember the rules, the rest of you, one person talk at one time, the rest of you listen.
Not there lah. Dina. Okay, kamu. Take picture already?
Yes, kita lihat. Mana lagi ni? Pasal ini buat dia tidak tahu.
Collaboration. Meeting the media. I forgot. I think that works with us.
Everybody. Kenny. So we'll be talking about the manufacturing side of things today because all things come from the manufacturer and it's very important as a core. So we have to sure we take care of the manufacturing quality in terms of like if we are following the ISO standards and if we are procuring even from the very first procuring the raw materials because my group has different views. So I'll just explain from my perspective, which is which is what I know only. So normally when we do the manufacturing, we are prioritizing on the suppliers because there are a lot of suppliers where both locally and also international suppliers. But depending on how the economy progresses, we make decisions based on the pricing and also the quality of the materials. Once we identify which of the suppliers have the most competitive pricing, we will usually, I'll just explain people and technology altogether. So we will usually contact the supplier for the technology. For the people that usually does this work would be the procurement side of our department. They are the ones that assess and that talks to the suppliers to make sure everything's like including the pricing is right, the quality assurance is there, and also the procurement team will also make sure that the goods are received in like proper condition, and then down to the secondly, once the materials has been received by our factory, so we would normally go through a QA and QC inspection check to make sure like the material is okay, no damage. Once damaged, we have to report back to the supplier, and maybe we can work through that with the supplier. And third, we'll go to the production right away because for the first and the second step, there won't be any much work going on, but most of the work will be going on in the production side of things. So for the production side of things, we have our production monitoring on target, which is the thing that we do in the production side, which is to actually exact the amount that we are actually producing, no more and no less, according to the standards. And the skilled worker on this side of the area is usually being looked over by a production manager on site, with also the skilled workers that have been employed. Once the production is over, then we will finally do our QC check. We will have to make sure anything that has related to food will be properly sealed and following the ISO standards accordingly. So on this side of the number 4, the step 4, it will usually be done by the QC. Or he will be an engineer who will be taking care of.
Engineer.
Sorry.
Engineer.
So he will be like an engineer. And staff. They will be looking after
English teacher.
So once everything is okay, we will move on to the sales team. So our work is done, we'll just pass on to the sales team. So the sales team will be in charge of like doing the sales and marketing. And for the person that is involved, normally would be the sales executive to sell product. And the technology ways to sell product in today's world, we have come up with online payment. Like for say, I have online payment that is subjected to specific consumers in China. So our company has adopted WeChat pay system in Brunei. So that actually allows foreign currency to be credited to Brunei, and then the other way is also in technology we have use of a lot of computers involved also. And lastly, we have monitoring of sales, which is usually done through computer also, and this is usually done to make sure our inventory is always on check, and there will always be a constant supply of production in place. Yeah, that's all. Production.
If I already have this in your documentation? Ada sudah? No wonder detail probably is kurang pro sudah.
So for the rest of you, probably something that you guys can learn in terms of having a detailed process. So it actually can help you with the errors, learning from the incidents and whatnot. So this is quite comprehensive process. Well done. Well done, team. Okay.
Maybe other question. In terms of dealing with the supplier, because you mentioned just now if there's any damage, you can get back to the supplier. Is there any agreement that you have prior with your supplier? Say that macam tadi lah delivery this process, these processes. Do you have that with the supplier as well?
For our supplier, because we are our own supplier because we have trees, so I personally don't deal with outside suppliers just yet because right now what we are producing in our factory is all locally sourced wood. So our supply is actually with plantation.
Oh, you have your own plantation?
Yes,
Wow.
only Johnson can.
But I mean, add on Madam's query about the materials. What we do on damage is, as a QA, we are checking with regards to the proposal on the assurance that their proposal is the same with the delivery. And that is for the requirements. And then the second one is, with regards to the damage, we identify if it is from, because we are always used on overseas, we identify whether it is in between the delivery and the logistical issues. So these are the two parameters that we are checking. Once we receive, we do on a QA that the assurance of their proposal, the specifications is only with regards to the delivery. Because we experience the proposal is different to the delivery. When we test the thickness, when we test the heights, it's a different to the delivery. So these are the experiences that we have that we improve on how to monitor with regards to this, and also to identify where is the gap on these issues. Because sometimes some of the suppliers, they are denying of this, especially they are overseas. So if you put them up in that business, then they will increase the MOQ. So they will have a retaliation with that kind of. So we have to make our parameters of acceptance. Maybe they have to put an additional quantity to cover up with regards to those damage in between the delivery. So these are the two subject we use for this acceptance for the equipment.
Follow-up question on the QA. Do you have an internal discussion with the supplier, or do you use external audit like Bureau Veritas?
No, we have our requirements to them, in which that is meeting the regulations, and also with that one. The only thing is, some of the suppliers, they are not the manufacturer. So they are on this chain.
Yes.
So this is the problem. You don't know where are you going to bring up your complaints to them.
So probably in this process, as much of is a one of the law exercise when we look for improvement. So probably something that you need to look at QA, QC, your quality assurance as well as for quality control.
Yes.
So once you have these two things in place, so it's kind of eliminating some sort of an error or difficult conversations that you're going to have with suppliers. So that needs to be put into place. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I assume you already have the QA process. So.
Yes.
Yes, you have QA, QC. That's why I say it's a bit comprehensive one, and then you have another quality assurance in terms of the
And that is
packaging.
after the production.
Correct.
On the QC is more on after the production, just to see physical accomplishment of the product before we release. Okay. On the QA is more so on the delivery of the products, that we use two aspects of that.
Okay?
Everybody understand what QAQC is? Yes?
Quality assurance.
What does quality assurance mean? Which part of this?
Quality control.
Quality control. Quality assurance is about the process of making the product. Yeah, you look at the process. Which part of the process you need to make sure meets. Quality control is the end product. You have to make sure that it meets the specification. So two different things now. So the QC would be their end product.
Yeah. So probably that could be QA, QC that you guys think that element you need to put in terms of your process.
Would a company, a supplier having a external certification like ISO 9001 help?
Yes, and that is it is because of it looks like they honestly for them because they are what you call it, they're holding their names because they have it, they have the QMS of it. They are on this standards, so it means they are in a long-term businesses of it. They are not a fly with that. So that standard, that standards give them the honesty to the customers. So that is one we notice to everyone.
All right.
Excellent. Thanks,
Earlier about the suppliers. What we will normally do, we will not, in terms of suppliers, in terms of choosing suppliers. So what I would do is I would sort out a couple of suppliers, just to make orders, but not in big quantity, but in smaller quantity, just to test out how is their material and how is their product. So once we have a more in-depth knowledge of what their product is, then we will should to do a larger order with the suppliers. Yeah.
Okay, well then, can you put it to the side with the asking thing? Yeah, can you? Last group.
Last group.
In the chosen presenter.
Aku dari pagi sudah balas ni.
Apa device oh?
Okay, guys,
everyone. 30 minutes ago, three of us agreed to setting up a new businesses with DHS. I don't know lah. We already identified the critical processes and people and technology. Let's start with the processes first. First, we need to identify, to looking for the contract. Because most of the valuation is by the contract basis. And when most of the contract, the government contract, they will publish on the website lah, the Kita Guna, or sometimes in the Bmen bulletin. So this bila you already get the contract, they identify which contract you want to join. So you will check the client requirement for the contract. Sometimes the client requirement is depends on the agency. For example, in NOH, they will asking for the healthy food. And sometimes kalau di tempat lain dia ada sterile requirement. Or if the yang Islamic sikit, they will ask for the halal certification. Apart of that one, sometimes the client also satisfied to I want the hot drinks only, or I want the hot food. This one will be identified also. From the client requirement, we go to the type of the vending machine, because vending machine have a lot of types. The machine tadi hot drinks, cold drink, hot food, something like that. And when we already identified the client requirement and the vending machine type, we go to the food supplier. Food supplier, we need to identify who will able to supply us continuously. We have a lot of suppliers, tapi sometimes they will look what the kind of value asking from them. Small volume, maybe they don't want to entertain. or they will tend you with cash basis. So when you already go to the food supplier, you will set the term and condition, for example, delivery, and it's delivery basis, or you can money on the spot delivery, and the credit term. This is the most critical one, the credit term, because this business it's a cash business, but sometimes we the cash flow issue. And when you already have the term and condition, you will set the pricing, worksheet pricing. For example, even if the 100 plus you want to add $1, it doesn't mean you want to put it here $1, because it depends on the logistic also the price given by the supplier. And I mentioned the supplier will give you depends on what will you want to pay. That is from the process. But for the people, most of this job will be handled by the project manager. For example, for the contract and the client payment, project manager will communicate with the client representative to better understand what exactly the requirement. Sometimes the requirement is in the contract is very junior, and then the project manager need to communicate what exactly what do you mean, what so this type of things will be communicated with this party. And also the type of vending machine, project manager will also coordinate with this killer manufacturing, and they are able to give you this type of vending machine. Or maybe sometimes the said, we cannot able to give you this one because we also have the some tax can you can wait for 6 months or 1 year, and we can proceed. And then for the food supplier, this is will be handled by sales and marketing team. Same also on the condition first, the term and condition, the sales and management team will communicate with the supplier. And the pricing also will be done by sales and marketing. They will do the market survey. We will go to our competitor vending machine to check pricing. And go to the technology. For the contract and client payment, this is can be done using the computer, and then sometimes with the WhatsApp communication. And also the type of new machine. The new machine now is our advanced survey, not very exactly the coin, but we also give QR code and also using the cloud management system, which is the machine can send all the data of the machine to you. For example, in the real time what the stock tinggal, what the condition of the temperature, and the machine is working conditions. For the food supplier, usually we will communicate on the internet with the supplier in Brunei, and then we'll communicate with them using the phone or internet. Sometimes WhatsApp. No, WhatsApp is very common in Brunei. But the term and condition, that is handled by SM, selling activity. Usually, but sometimes we will use the activity like what the contract. So we can sometimes if we do by ourselves, we understand. But using the AI, we can dapat yang detail out. And for the pricing, as I mentioned, this one maybe not really much on the technology because you need have to go to manually the what you call our competitor. And when everything this one complete, where you go to the next stage, which is a very complicated thing.
Okay, we're not going to go to the complicated process. So first of all, round of applause to you. Now questions, feedback, before we give the feedback. Any questions from the floor? No?
Even the franchisee.
So just feedback from each one, just to ask you, like I said, it's not a challenge or work, just for in terms of getting your processing. You already talked about this is from a tender for you to participate, right? So you talked about the type of vending machine that's under treatment. How about in terms of identification of the vending machine? Supplier of the vending machine, is it you or do you rent it, or do you the supplier of the vending machine? Because that's I find missing.
Okay. When you with the contract one, they will usually mention to you what type of illumination you want.
Yeah.
And after that, you will identify, you will looking for who's the illumination manufacturer. Usually in China lah.
So that means you need to add on into the
Yes.
process, not just the type.
Yang pembalinya mana?
But so identification of the vending machine. So when you identify, is it you buy the machine, you rent it, how does it work?
Usually we buy the machine.
You buy the machine.
Yes.
Dan placement lagi.
Placement delivery of the vending machine.
Di dalam mana?
We go to that scribble only.
Oh,
we want to
yeah.
know banyak-banyak.
Oh, so that's a complicated process.
Yeah, the complicated process.
So Jonas doesn't want to share the complicated process because
Because this is based on the
process
actual,
is
right?
his thing, okay guys? Yeah. Alright. Anyway, well done. Thank you.
So almost done.
Almost there.
So again, this week we were short on time. This is short on time, so gonna skip one presentation activity, but I'm still sharing this one. So once you have your operation set, so you analyze what you have, what you are doing, what you're planning to do, then you can see how it can be improved. So again, the key aspects. So the process, how can it be streamlined, or maybe there's something missing. That when you were discussing, you're forgetting a few steps, missing some steps. And then how can the people be improved? Whether ada kurang orang, or one person can do more than one. And then 3, how can the delivery be better? From simple to more advanced car. If it's too advanced, too expensive, it can get cheaper. So those are the simple questions. But some of you might be familiar with the abbreviation TIMWOOD. Ada yang pernah dengar TIMWOOD? So it's basically streamlined processes lah. So it's this one: transport, inventory, motion, basic delay, overproduction, overprocessing, and defects. So the aspects that you might want to look at into your process as well. So maybe transportation, how to make it easier, inventory management, reducing motion so you don't have to do a lot. Waiting delays, so apa yang melambatkan? So how do you speed that up? Yang payahnya government government process can't change much, understand? But yeah, I mean, that's part of the process. That's faksa lah. Overproduction, maybe you're making too much, but you're not selling enough. Overprocessing, maybe lebih masak. And then defects. So especially with the production, sometimes there's defects that happens. So during the process, what was the problem? What was the source of the problem? So you might be able to identify from looking at the process. So just again looking at the PPT today. So what are the things that could be improved? So that yang tadi dan masalah social media. So can be improved, right? Rather than makai surat kapal gila mahal atau billboard. Social media saja. And then kalau payment, cash or bank transfer, tapi kan motor debit card. Sekarang ada sudah pocket lah. But you have to use by doing apa? I think I'm not sure kalau dia ada dapat terima.
Progressive direct.
Progressive direct.
Direct, no longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, progressive.
Barat iwan sekarang.
Mungkin use this any card.
So what are the things that you can improve in the process that you have?
No more
I think there's also missing the cases of your processes when you receive or pay the money itulah. Macam for the supplier dia jangan bayar dan ambil simpan dulu bayar. Then the people involved, so ada mungkin ada kurang tambahkan ataupun ada lagi take order aku di petang siang dah nak buat orang dapat saja. So again to make the process simple, dari tambah kitchen apa, payment cashier saja. Macam kalau yang ada fast food restaurants kan, the cashier biasanya dia receive money and prepare the food but not cook the food. So ada separation sana. And then the technology, so kan tambahkan waktu dulu pakai Google spreadsheet, pakai Excel saja lah dia, just log in. Kita have to this atau pakai itu apa lah. Dan take order mental note. Salah. Even tulis pun kadang masalah pak. A few times sudah ada restoran tu aku order ice lemon tea, yang keluarnya ice lemon saja. I'm very sure I'm not dirty. So, latest je bang. Itu apa balas satu bang. And then prepare food. Motor sekarang you're into the trend of biodegradable. I think kalau food supplier now, one of the things that's coming up, I love contracts request for sustainability. So just something that you might wanna look into. Taking payment, pakai cash register, pakai payment app, then closing shop, maybe pakai the percentage jadi stock, then you get accounting if you're consolidating the payments. So again, if you have time, if we had time, we would have done the analysis. But I think you guys understand enough of the process, so you can refine again. Yeah. So.
And also we share with you the full slide deck for the day. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us.
So this is I said original the presentation, but it's more than one.
So just one question to everybody. If you've just set up your process, yeah, and you want to evaluate it, analyze it, but you haven't got it running yet, because you want to run it and measure and analyze. How would you go about before you actually get it operated, run, to actually test your business process? Yeah, you have a new business process. You want to test it, but you don't want to run it full blown yet, but you want to define it before you try. How do we test it? Any ideas? Any thoughts? So you have business process macam mana tu? How we can test that?
We do it, try it.
Yeah, you do it to make a mistake, then you prove it, but you don't want to use that mistake.
Oh,
You don't want to go like it. Huh? Simulate it, okay? Good. Try run. Yeah, okay. Yeah, do a presentation like this. That helps. You get input, get feedback. And this is what we call as a desktop exercise. You can actually do, to actually just use the number of facilities and ask questions, really critical questions about the process.
Another thing, if you have a business process in place and you think it's working, think again. If there is nothing wrong with your business process, does not mean it really works. Okay? So get out of your comfort zone. Remember the rules, get out of your comfort zone.
Okay, so basically we're done and done
So,
already.
with that, we close out the theory sessions with you. And now we open up the floor for Q&A and business meetings. If you want to approach us one-to-one, up to you, or we can also do Q&A sharing experiences throughout the class.
Okay, just for
We are at your
information,
mercy now.
we have a fellow mentor here.
Hi,
Private line.
Hi, good afternoon. Yeah,
I just introduced yourself.
thank you very much. So I'll join you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. Everybody will be here. You're not going to miss today, right? I mean, it's an interesting session, and I'll assure you that my fellow colleagues here will take care of you much better tomorrow, and it will be a much more interesting session. So I'll see everybody tomorrow.
So we open the floor to you guys, whether we can use Q&A, sharing experiences, or you can approach us. We are at your mercy for half an hour before 4 o'clock.
Project discussion lah.
Project discussion ni.
I just wonder open company
Yeah.
Okay, what do you guys want to do?
To ask questions.
You can ask us questions. If you don't know the answer, we have two experts at the back who can answer the question.
Kita membuat event.
This back. This back. Actually,
The right side.
So just can I have your attention? Just to share with you, I asked the DAO team to post you in your LMS a growth mindset journey, something for you to understand the meaning of the COI and where can you actually move to make your journey more effective. So there are 3-4 circles there. moving from your comfort zone to the growth mindset. Okay, so I hope it helps you.
If you can't think of any questions now,
Okay, what subgroups are?
yeah, for some group, let's go back to your expectations. Expectations. Right. The first one I see here, whoever wrote this, just say whether you've met your expectations. Is there anything else you want to know? I mean, we could actually discuss that. Number one is seeking guidance in handling employees.
Itu mostly on third day, tapi we covered a bit today.
Did we cover that? Were you okay with that?
Do you need more, but those kind of things will be covered in HR, I believe so. But since we open it, that you have it, your expectations to be managed today, if you feel that it has, feel free to say so. If you need more, and you want to approach any one of us one-to-one based on you, because you don't want to share across, feel free to do so.
Yeah, HR tadi HR and okay. Next is network with new people.
Did you network with each other?
Yeah.
So
You got your business set up.
So we hope, we pray that you get to know each other better today compared to this morning.
Ikigai and Kaizen.
Oh.
What? Have you met that? Ikigai. You know what Ikigai is?
You know what Kaizen is?
Kaizen is sushi.
Kaizen is in yayasan.
Ikigai sushi belum ada. Ikigai is
So Ikigai is a sense of purpose.
sense of purpose.
The small tomorrow, the smart goals.
Yeah.
Kaizen is
Kaizen is
So do you think that one of you writes it here?
continuous improvement.
Okay, next one is achieving goals and objectives. One. Second one is methods of improving business process. Nice handwriting.
Masyarakat. Confirm.
Dia macam typewriter lah tulisannya.
Masyarakat.
It's default. I saw you read sense. Have you achieved that? Yeah? Anybody remember who wrote that? You probably remember this process. Anyway, if you haven't, again, you know, then you're so cool. Whoa.
Siapa yang turun ni?
The fact that you are here, that I know it will be a meaningful session. I will learn and practice everything. Okay,
Thank you.
So it must be Bobby.
Alright, this one we know is from Sharon.
Bukan aku betul loh.
He's not here. Network, learning about potential skills. Okay. Then we have Ina Hasanan. Yeah. You said if I am getting closer to my vision and if I'm doing it right. If.
Expectation.
So do you think that you're coming closer to that through this session?
Tomorrow, tomorrow getting closer. So KPI smart goals.
She's the dinner without the dinner. Okay, next one is day one. To improve our existing business operation. Number two, to share this knowledge to our key personnel. Okay, so improving your business operations. You have an idea how to improve that, I hope. Yeah. You won't get the answer straight away. You go back and have a look at it and see whether you can do that. Now, another new font. Chen, this is from Chen.
After training, my expectations would include an enhanced understanding of business operations and improving business processes and ability to apply the knowledge in a practical scenario.
Got it? Excellent.
Your handwriting is terrible. Mine's worse. That's why I can read it.
What's this?
Finding inspiration in business operations.
Inspiration.
Some inspiration.
Are you inspired? Who wrote this? Yeah, okay, hopefully ya. Okay, mana masa tak boleh ni. Improving the business. Can that's basically we'll be discussing. Kan? And then determine unnecessary business process that needs to be eliminated. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Use the other word of
Reduce the process. Yeah. Okay, oh, sudah ada atau ada lah? Okay. Sampai dah you can already one. Ini sudah tadi, we business sudah. Ini ya baru tadi. Habis tiga, dah. Yeay. You came late.
No, she came on the
She came after. Alright. Technically late for the whole day. Technically late.
So I need to teach him how to talk positively.
No fire.
No fire, not keep.
Be honest, you came. Came one time for the afternoon, but late for the whole day. What was your expectation of attending this today?
Actually, I run two business,
Yeah.
F&B and decoration. So I want to improve the F&B.
Betul apa saja tadi?
Tapi,
Dua table booking ke?
because yang F&B itu kita tahu yang the drinks at the end.
The what?
Viral.
Bisa lebih end tu ujungnya.
Yes.
The what?
The drinks at the end.
The
drinks.
The drinks at the end.
Uh-huh.
So kami like our even hujan apa banyak orang datang sana. So kita dapat kok. So I SOP-nya itu dah sedia.
Kami sampai sini tu. The drinks are here.
Kamu ke yang boleh menari kemana-mana?
Apa tu?
Jangan menari pasal awal habis. So it was on TikTok.
Yeah. Procedure, is it?
Yeah,
Joke aside, just
got 15 more minutes.
I have 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Feel free to ask any questions if you do have one. We have finished covering the business operation and the characteristics of it, and we do hope that you learned something from today's session. And like I said earlier, we did give you the full flash of the slides for today. You can see some of them we did not cover, but we covered it during the discussion. And feel free to ask us if you have any doubts whatsoever before we close
Can you
the
flash the QR code again? Tinggal WhatsApp sudah bagian. Sudah. Anybody missed that?
It's all in the LMS code. So
And also for day 2, correct?
yeah, so for all the presentations, it'll be all in the LMS. So if you haven't logged in and stuff, we will help you to log in. Apa? LMS
So
IBA,
IBA
yes, IBA Learning Management System itu. So I'd like to thank the mentors. Also, just to share with you guys, they're doing this voluntarily, so they don't get paid. And so nice of them. So please appreciate their effort. Like that they're here to help you. But also, we would appreciate if you could also complete our pre-course survey, which is inside the LMS app if you haven't done it. So we'll just make sure that you do that. But other than that, we have time. If you want to ask the mentors any questions that they don't want to ask, like dapat, then they're just here ready for you to talk to lang. Oh, tomorrow. So the next session for tomorrow will be in this class as well.
Yes.
Is there? Here.
The change table side, you wait like that.
Tomorrow we'll break down again.
Yeah. So ask away anything, even though if it's like maybe within this atau like if you have any questions about like how to improve your business processes. Yeah. Kalau malu, it's okay. Maybe belum warm up, but yeah, they're just there.
If it's confidential, personal approaches. Personal. Yeah. Responsibility.
Okay, so we're going to be here until 4. The agreement is to finish the class at 4. So if you do not have any other questions, and then we're going to close the class.
I have a question. What did you like most about this session today? What would you like most? I need to stand in front. What
Una,
did
may
you
sarap
like?
na dito.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
You wanna say something?
Yes.
Please stand up so we can see you. Stand up? Yes. You can stand in the front if you want to. So I have a pacemaker in my heart. I have a machine in my heart.
Oh.
So I'm considered disability.
Okay.
So physically I'm not very well, but mentally I'm a very strong person.
Excellent.
So before the class, I didn't have much hope. Because I have joined 2 classes with there, but because it was online during COVID time, so it's kind of, there's no interaction, right? So I came to the class, of course I want to gain new knowledge, but I didn't put much hope. It's like, oh, I'm going to a 2-star hotel. But what come out when you say the glass room? From the starting of that moment, I feel like I'm in 6-star beyond expectation. So that's why I write there, you were so cool. And all of you so cool. And I don't have any expectation because I know that whatever is trained in this class will be great.
Excellent.
And whatever you say, I have really bad headache because it's so deep and I'm like, oh my god, I have to fix it. I will take 1 month to fix this. So
take your time.
yeah, so it's really valuable. I feel so great. I registered for this class. And at first I thought you are so, I'm so sorry. So talkative, so but when
That's what he thought. That's what Hazik thought about me too.
but when we are in
Stop
the
talking.
WhatsApp group, you were so great. So it's really, I really learned a lot. Like
That's
I
why
don't-
they reject my video.
I don't judge people by the call. You don't never talk. Even I try not to, but I still make
Stop talking.
mistakes. And I'm really sorry for what I thought.
Yeah.
But you were great. So I learned a lot, and
Nice to hear.
I'm over the moon today, and I will be until the last day of the class. And
Stay healthy.
Any more honest words from you?
Okay.
I know you got something to share. Yeah.
Thank you, my son. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my son.
We are very, very pleased. Over the moon as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Just to
yes.
share with you earlier, we mentioned, when we were set for this class, 3 of us worked together, and whatever we put on the slide is based on our experience. It's not textbook. It's based on what we have experienced in our line of work before, and also in terms of our mentoring the MSMEs in Brunei as well outside. So what we're trying to put together our hats, if you see our slide, the get through it is the boulders in the team. So when we think about the contents of what we're gonna have today and tomorrow, our first thought is that the participants. So we don't want to bring your textbooks, we want to bring our experience, or we share stories with you, and what are the challenges so that we can actually resonate with you with what you have. So, and we hope we can continue that again tomorrow for the full day. And with that, yes. Yes,
Pangeran. You can stand here. You can do the supper as well.
Yeah.
Show us a Brazilian dance.
Well, actually, I'm also a trainer, so that's why when I attend this kind of trainings, I always want to voice out what I want to question lah. Because I think that one is free of charge, right? You don't have to pay for attending lah.
You pay for being with us, like.
Selangor. So I'm always very talkative and outspoken, and that's how I became a trainer actually. And I also criticize people also, but now I'm not anymore. Usually, you want me to?
Dari tadi pulang sudah kudang it's okay, you know. I guess it's different.
But I think as a business person, that we have to have that resilience lah. Because in the entertainment industry, it's also a little business for us, and then we also have a lot of criticism, and sometimes they criticize our talents also, right? So yeah, that's why I said tadi my apologies, because maybe most of you are the biasa lah this kind of situations. But I think for me, since we're here, why not we just blast it out lah? Because we're here to them anyway, right? I mean, they have experienced it last time I actually argued with the trainer. Yeah, yeah. But then it's a business thingy, and I hope also that everyone understands each other punya approach. And of course, if you don't like it, then whatever lah, right? Thank you.
Okay, so we've got what they liked about the session. What didn't you like about the session? What didn't you like about the session? What could be? Yeah, what can you improve?
Positive. What can be?
Macam bertanya. What do you think you can improve?
I think, tapi
yes.
Not to criticize.
I think self-introduction itu dadakan pasal we don't know who is who. Yeah, and then it became awkward after I speak a lot. Yeah, it became awkward. I can sense people lah macam awkward. Dia kenapa? Because we don't know each other, kan? Yeah, we only know our table itu bah. So macam you know, so that's the.
You want to play bingo, get excited?
We do that in a purpose for not doing self-introduction, yes, because we're going to have 2 days with you. So in the beginning, we talked about the activity first, and you get to know each other on the surface. So, and then because it is started, the idea of networking, you don't really need to introduce yourself to others to get to know each other. So you can actually do that on your own. So we do that on purpose, the reason why we do the bingo activity earlier on. Otherwise, it would be unexpected, like every time you go training, in the beginning, people introduce themselves. Sometimes, based on our learning and experiences, some people are not comfortable to do so yet in the beginning. So because we have 2 days with you, we plan the session in such a way that we do the networking on your own, and then we'll move from there so that you get comfortable with each other. Because by the end of the day, when we split you into groups, you get connected with a different person, and you get to get the formalities for introduction list of everyone. So we do that not in the beginning, but halfway through.
Yeah? A lot of time to
yeah. So we just want to make sure that you can have different sequence.
Good point.
Alright?
Thank you.
Any other points of improvement?
Points of improvement?
Maybe we can.
Yes, Bobby food. This Bobby lah, Bobby not me Bobby
So Ina wanted to say something.
Sama ni Yana. Sama ni Yana.
Lapar.
Maybe since Miss Gita lebih experience on this business for many years and deal with a lot of people, maybe boleh tambahkan macam what were the challenges that you have faced, and maybe relate to how we can relate lah dengan service industry. Maybe there are some challenges coming up that we have not macam terfikir sebenarnya. Problem solving lah.
That's the idea of the last session. After that, you can ask us questions and we can share. Yeah, we'll take that note and I will do that tomorrow.
Yeah. So on my part, usually I just share introduction. And the thing is, we have a lot of experience. Kadang sepanjang hari we just tell stories about ourselves. So it's easier for us to listen to you, and then we share any relevant experiences to help solve your issue.
That's the best thing I can
No,
do.
it was a great session. Not to criticize Anya, nah. It was a very great session as well, yeah.
What?
So yeah,
Anybody
6
else?
stars, 6 stars.
Six
Very
stars.
satisfied.
Alright, other groups, please. This one is
Rasa apa energinya, Wak? Please, jangan terlalu lagi duit ke sekolah.
Production guys.
diam saja.
Even management.
Alright.
Okay, your group, anything you would like to say for improvement, what you like about today, and anything that you would like us to change for tomorrow?
No big changes, but I really like how Ian shows like how he solve master problem accordingly. Like he identified like where the source of the problem comes from. I enjoy the perspective. I think it's all about the perspective that we're sharing. So sometimes for me, there aren't any wrong or right decisions. You just simply have to go and go out there and try to solve the problem. But I enjoy sharing the experiences. So looking forward to learn more tomorrow.
We said that at least one representative. Thank you for representing.
Oh, I know that
This group.
it's a fear in public speaking.
So, there you go. Thank you, Mr. Hans, you already know. Hans.
Si share.
Share already talk.
Si share, you tinggal.
Dave, please.
Dia perlu cakap.
I just like
Dave,
has a
cakap.
fear in public speaking.
What did you like today? Yeah. You can say dia ayam goreng kah?
Kena belanja masker.
Seriously.
This is a product.
I feel that in this discussion is like it's more positive in a sense because somehow I think the market somehow shift us in a mindset in when we face difficulties we are being faced in shift in a certain mindset when we face with difficulties. But in this class I feel that Hajar Rabia is always moving us towards the positive side, like the circle of concern and the circle of influence. Is to break out of our own comfort zone. So from there, I think it's like, I like the way she bring it up. So instead of negativity, you move towards a positive, where you can actually gain more energy and more power from it. And then when you draw from it, you can actually share more with others. So I feel that when Hajar shared a lot with me, and then when I heard my Sarah ask a lot of questions, I can bring some positivity back to her as well. So this is, I feel that like, the energy is being shared, and then we can push out to others as well. And I learned a lot from, like, when we are shooting questions here and there. So I learned from real life experience. So this is very good as well. That's what I feel like. And wow, when I heard that you are doing for free, I feel that wow.
5 days of our time.
I really appreciate it. I feel that we entrepreneurs really need you guys as mentors and everyone help to guide us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so time is up. Thank you very much everyone for our first day at this masterclass. So I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed what our mentors had to share and all the interactions that we had today. So yeah, so we'll see everyone tomorrow at 8:30.
8:30.
Yeah, so. And yeah, if you have any feedback, for example, like the food, we take it into account. Indah, we're trying a new vendor at the moment. So macam kalau ada nyaman, beritahu saja lah. But it will be in our post-course survey too.
Tapi esok the food different kan?
Sama. Not the same food pula.
Oh.
Not the same food. Not the same food.
Any requests?
Nasi lemak.
Nasi lemak.
We'll check the pack.
Nasi lemak.
Dah lah.
Nasi lemak.
Okay, so the session is over. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Right, see you guys.
Team management.
Bye.
Team event management.
Makan lah, you guys.
Mana? Where are we? 1, 2. Okay. Pasal kira sponsor dia. We haven't had the masa work and tested it. Yourself. Oh, the sorry.
Okay,
My credit card kena telat.
Oh,
So I need to go and take it. Sebelum tu.
okay.
Potential client.
Alright, take care, boss.
I'm curious, how young are you that you have a pacemaker? I don't know anyone below 40 that has a pacemaker.
Alright.
I'm 34.
74.
Why?
How the hell? I was born after I turned 2.
Okay, that's right. Is it the something syndrome?
It's called Radicata.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. My wife has that. Yeah, my wife has that.
Your wife or your
My wife and her sisters. The genetic.
no, but not much. But my but yes, mostly genetic.
Yeah, so it's genetic and it's also environmental
But do they
factors.
use
Not yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully, because they detected early because one of the sisters has a congenital heart defect, so obviously but one sister had a problem with the heart, and then after analysis said that the doctor said everyone might be to be tested because the mother died of so yeah, but the main trigger was stress. Stress causes changes.
Yeah, my trigger is my second born. I should not have a second one.
So no third.
No way. No way. I'm dying for that.
Actually, I want to collaborate.
Oh wow, what is that? That way.
Super sharp knife.
I was
And then later on, then we will come out with the second one.
This is for my customer that I need to send out. So this is Japanese.
Yours can go? Yes, that's fine. I got two for timelapse and
Because there's a game, yes.
Alright, then I think this is what you asking for.